is honestly the best iPhone ever. And I say this as someone who has been using iPhone since the iPhone 3GS. Yes, it goes back that deep. But let's talk about why. Now, if you know me, you know I like to get some of my cons out of the way. I've had this thing for over 40 days. Let's talk about the cons. Now, the first con is more of a request of the people. No always on display. By this time, I would have hoped that Apple would have given us a little bit more of that Android sauce, but we're still waiting. My next con, which isn't a con necessarily for me, but it can be for some people. This thing is thick and it holds some weight to it, so just keep that in mind. Con number 3, the notch is still alive. Why, Tim? Why? And my last and final con is I think it's time for Apple to start experimenting with more RAM in their Pro devices, because I'm just sick of the app refreshes. We'll talk about that later. Now, in all seriousness and honesty, I'm just nitpicking to get these cons out. In all truth, in all of its glory, this phone is amazing. This is the best looking iPhone I've ever seen, arguably. Some may disagree, but that's your opinion. I am amazed by this design. Like, I love it. I love the stainless steel sides. I love the frosted glass back. I just love the premium build quality that this iPhone 13 Pro Max delivers on. And yes, I'm rocking it caseless. Disclaimer, do not do what I do. The materials are premium as usual. The display is amazing. The all-around build quality is what you want in a $1,000 plus smartphone. This specific model is a 256 gigabyte model, which comes in at $1199. And honestly, I think it's fairly priced. Let's talk display. A big love for this phone is the display. Not only was it rated the top display by DisplayMate with an A+ rating, but it's truly the best display of any iPhone to date. You gotta love these colors. You gotta love the presentation. Look at this. And another thing, Apple's implementation of the LTPO variable refresh rate AMOLED display, jumping from 10 Hz to 120 Hz in a smooth and efficient way, is everything. It's not taxing on the battery, yet it's optimized to work well with the iOS system to give you that smooth 120 Hz refresh rate that we all know and love in an efficient package. ProMotion is top notch, no pun intended. But let's be real, not all is perfect in this display. The biggest gripe I have, let me pull up my photos again, is the notch. Although it's 20% smaller at this point in time, I'm willing to opt in for a Touch ID power button, although I love Face ID, but in exchange for a notchless experience. Like, I would just take the smaller cutout for the camera or a hole punch design at this point in time to get more screen real estate. The 20% reduction of the notch is still taking up a sizable amount of screen real estate, especially if you want to go just full edge to edge, which you typically don't have to. I mean, I make my videos in 2:1 so that you don't really have to stretch them. They get about as far as they can go, but the notch is apparent and we have to be honest about it. Now, did somebody say battery life? The battery life on the iPhone 13 Pro Max is unmatched. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I introduce the king of battery. Love Apple, hate Apple. But one thing you can't do is deny the battery life of this iPhone 13 Pro Max. The screen on time, as well as just the overall usage hours, are beyond my expectations, and I'm absolutely satisfied. This battery literally is the best of any flagship of this year and probably next year. All right, next up, let's talk cameras. Well, I was waiting for the Pixel 6 Pro before making this statement. These are the best all-around smartphone cameras on any flagship, period.
Yo.
Oh, did I accidentally call y'all? That was accident if I did that. I'm literally filming. Or that was you. All right. And yes, I saw the Sony phone. I'm extremely impressed. I would love to have one. Sony, holla at a player. But let's be honest, the masses aren't just running to grab a Sony smartphone. But with that being said, we do have a very convenient, very color accurate, very well balanced camera array on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. the Pro, and the 13. You're getting best video performance, best dynamic range, and just great clarity. In short, if you want great smartphone cameras that are just well-rounded and balanced, the iPhone 13 Pro Max will check all of those boxes for you. And the 13 Pro and the 13 to a degree, no, minus the telephoto, let's just say. Next up, let's talk about performance. My only gripe in performance is I think Apple should start giving us a little more RAM, because I dislike the app refreshes when you go back to an app that's been sitting. Now I know Apple is all about optimization, and this could be a part of the optimization and not necessarily the RAM, but I'm pretty sure they're killing off apps in the background to preserve battery life. And it's quite possible that if they gave us more RAM and allowed apps to stay open and running in the background on that RAM, it would suck up more battery life. Hence why Androids probably don't have the same or similar battery life as this iPhone 13 Pro Max. But gripes aside, the performance is ultra smooth like butter, and also these chips, these SoC architectures are unmatched and like no other. We're given high-end optimization and high-end efficient performance at a great cost in the iPhone 13 Pro Max, 13 Pro, and 13. Let's talk user experience, the most important thing that matters when we talk about these smartphones. And honestly, the reason why I'm even recommending this smartphone is off of user experience alone. You're getting the best-in-class battery, the best-in-class display, some of the best unmatched performance in the flagship smartphone arena, and to be quite frank and honest, honestly, one of the best smartphones money can buy.